Hello. I've been waiting for you. Come on in. Okay, are you comfortable? Before we begin today, let's start with the quick one question. Can you name 10 shows, sitcoms or movies, that had a wife in one of the primary roles from your formative years? So if you watched TV in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and these 2000 millennials, name 10 shows that has the role of a wife. Name the wife and name the show. Because I really believe that a lot of the roles and behaviors that we demonstrate and emulate in our marriages come from what we see on TV. So let's go along with the challenge today. Name 10 wives from sitcoms or movies from your formative years. Okay, so over the years, Hollywood has come up with a variety of wives that you can choose from the 50s all the way to current days. You've had some self-destructive wives. You've had superior homemaking, psychologically analytical wives. You've had witty and get-you-told kind of wives. You had supportive professional wives. Some who stayed at home and worked as professionals out of their home, and others who worked outside of the home as professionals. Some who were fluent enough to have maids and servants and nannies for their children, while others stayed at home and were domestic engineers themselves. You had some who were beauties that were very strong-willed, and you had some who were very level-headed, criticizing and scolding. You had others who seemed to have it all together. And which one is right? If you know, like me, you were a little of all of them at one time or another, depending on the situation. So let's talk about it. Which one is right? So which one is right? You've probably seen these characters on TV, and then you've probably seen the behaviors acted out in your own home or amongst your family members. So the question is still remaining, which one is right? In order to answer that, you, like me, have to go all the way back past the 1950s, past the invent of radio broadcast sitcoms, all the way back to, yes, the good book. If you go back to the Bible, there is a phenomenal description of a woman in Proverbs 31. Read it with me, Proverbs 31, 10 through 31.
An excellent wife who can find. She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good, and not harm, all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. She is like the ships of the merchant. She brings her food from afar. She rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and portions for her maidens. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands she plants a vineyard. She dresses herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. She puts her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle. She opens her hand to the poor, and reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household are clothed in scarlet. She makes bed coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them. She delivers sashes to the merchant. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates.
All right, so then what is it? Who are we looking at? What do we do? These are all questions that I'd like to answer with you over the next coming weeks. So study that for this week. Find a version that's more comfortable with you. That was the easy study version. But if you were comfortable with King James Version, go back to the King's Version, read it again. I want you to understand it's not so much a person that you can look at the outer physical trappings to emulate as much as it is the internal work of the heart and the character of the individual. That was in biblical days. I do believe that there are still Proverb 31 women right here in society in 2019, and going into 2020. Let's make sure that we are one of them. Stay tuned. Each week I'd like to go through each one of those descriptors to see, yes, I do that. Or yes, I want to do that. Teach me how. Show me how. Let's do it together. We can talk about it. Yay! Week 2 under our belts. I am so excited and so happy that you have been here with me. Thank you. And remember, please, in the comments, leave the name of the fictional wife that best describes you. Claire Huxtable, probably, maybe sometimes somebody else, but whoever you are most, make sure you leave the name of that fictional wife in the comments. Until then, shine on from I do to well done. See you next Wednesday, 9 o'clock. God bless. Bye-bye.